He wasn't planning to run into his past that Thursday evening. It was one of those Michigan days that felt heavier than the weather forecast admitted. Gray clouds, biting wind, and that faint drizzle that made everything feel colder than it was. Ryan stepped out of Riverwood Mall, coffee in one hand, a small lavender-wrapped gift box in the other. His car keys jingled faintly in his coat pocket as he walked toward the parking lot, his mind drifting toward dinner and the phone call he owed his mother. He had just turned 30, an age he once thought would come with certainty, maybe even some adventure, but instead it had brought structure, quiet, calculated structure. He worked as an engineer, lived in a 2-bedroom condo, paid his taxes early, smiled when necessary, and kept his heart guarded behind layers of logic and discipline. His coworkers liked him. Solid guy, they'd say, reliable, responsible. But they didn't know him. Not really. Because the parts of Ryan that had once been soft, spontaneous, full of fire, those parts were long gone. They had vanished the day she left. He turned a corner near the edge of the food court parking lot when he saw her. At first, she was just a shape, crouched near the trash bins, shoulders hunched beneath a faded hoodie. Her hands were outstretched, palms open, holding a rusted tin can. People passed by without a glance. Some averted their eyes. A few offered polite nods, but no coins, no compassion. Ryan would have kept walking. He always did. Not out of apathy, but out of helplessness. He believed in giving, in kindness, but the sheer volume of suffering often overwhelmed him. So he did what most people did. He looked away, until now. His steps faltered. Something about her arrested him mid-motion. A flicker of recognition, a gut instinct. He didn't know, but something primal and strange pulled him toward her. Her head was bowed, her face hidden beneath messy, tangled hair. Her fingers trembled in the cold. Her jeans were torn, dirt streaking the denim at her knees. And then he saw the scar, a small, faded mark near her right temple. His heart slammed against his ribcage. His mouth went dry. No, it couldn't be. But it was. Melissa, he whispered. The name felt foreign on his lips, like a secret spoken out loud after years of silence. She looked up. Her eyes, those eyes wide with shock, her mouth fell open. The tin can clattered to the pavement. Time cracked open between them like a glass jar falling from a great height. 12 years poured out in a flash, memories colliding like broken constellations. Laughter in the rain, secret kisses in the woods, that dance where she wore blue and he wore a crooked tie. The ring he gave her behind the chapel, cheap, silly, and full of promise. Then she was gone. No note, no phone call, no goodbye. Just gone. He'd waited days, weeks. Then the rumors came she'd run off with someone older, they said, moved out of state, changed schools, changed her name. He had buried the pain beneath sarcasm and silence, buried her memory beneath work and whiskey. For years, she was the villain in his story, the one who shattered him, the girl who ghosted him without explanation, a cautionary tale he never told out loud. And now she was in front of him, begging, shivering, broken. He took a step forward, unsure whether he was moving toward truth or heartbreak. His voice was tight when he spoke. Is it really you? She blinked, her eyes filled instantly. Her voice trembled like a bird with clipped wings. Ryan. It was just his name, but it hit him like thunder. She stood slowly, as if afraid her legs wouldn't hold. For a long moment, they just looked at each other. No words, just silence thick with years of what-ifs and nevermores. I thought you were dead, he said, his voice caught somewhere between anger and grief. Or married, or anything but this. Melissa laughed, a soft, cracked laugh that held more pain than humor. In many ways, I did die. He winced. I don't understand, he said. You left, you disappeared, no one knew where you went. I thought you betrayed me. She flinched. I didn't betray you, she said softly. I just broke. She looked away, her shoulders tightened as if bracing for judgment. Do you remember Joey? She asked suddenly. Ryan nodded. Your little brother. Her eyes dimmed. He died that summer. Ryan's stomach dropped. What? I was babysitting, Mom was at work, Joey was playing outside. He ran after a ball. I looked away just for a second. A car didn't stop. She covered her mouth with her hand. I held him in my arms, Ryan. I screamed so loud, but nothing helped. He was gone. And I couldn't live with it. I couldn't breathe. I blamed myself. I still do. Ryan's vision blurred. She continued. I was too ashamed to tell anyone, too broken to explain. I thought if I left, maybe I could disappear from the pain, too. A gust of wind passed, but neither of them noticed. He wanted to scream, cry, shake her, hug her, ask her why she never told him, but the truth was clear. She hadn't run away from him. She had run from herself. He swallowed hard. So, all these years. I wandered, she said. Shelters, temporary jobs, bus stations. For a while I cleaned motel rooms, then I got sick, lost everything. Pride kept me from asking for help. Shame kept me away. Her voice was faint. I thought I didn't deserve love anymore. He closed his eyes, chest aching. Why didn't you come back? Because I couldn't face you, she whispered. Not after what I'd become. He looked at her, not the ragged clothes, not the exhaustion, but at her, the girl he loved, the girl he never stopped carrying in the quietest corners of his heart. You should have come back, he said. I know, she breathed. I wanted to so many times, but I always stopped myself. I thought you hated me. I did, he admitted, for a while, but only because I didn't understand. She lowered her eyes. He stepped forward. Do you still blame yourself? Every day. He took her hand gently. She flinched but didn't pull away. You were 16. It was a horrible accident, but you didn't kill him, Melissa. Her lips trembled. No one's called me that in years. What do they call you now? Doesn't matter, she whispered. I stopped being her a long time ago. You're still her to me, he said. They stood in the cold. The world kept spinning. People kept walking past. But for Ryan and Melissa, time slowed, two lost souls suspended in a moment of mercy. Come with me, he said. She blinked. What? I'm not letting you freeze out here. Come on. I'll get you something warm, a meal, a place to rest. She hesitated. Why are you doing this? He smiled faintly. Because maybe I never stopped loving you. I just stopped remembering what it felt like. She didn't reply, but she followed. They drove through the quiet streets of the town neither of them fully belonged to anymore. In the passenger seat, Melissa clutched a borrowed coat around her thin frame. Her hands were tucked beneath her thighs for warmth. The heater buzzed low, filling the cabin with soft, artificial comfort. He glanced at her briefly. She looked so small, fragile, like a ghost made flesh. He pulled into a 24-hour diner, not fancy but warm, private, familiar. Inside, they sat across from each other in a corner booth. She ordered chicken soup and water. He ordered coffee. Again. She ate slowly, each spoonful cautious, like she was afraid it might disappear if she enjoyed it too much. Ryan just watched. Tell me the rest, he said. She sighed. I kept moving, town to town. Sometimes I'd find kindness, sometimes cruelty. I've been hurt, Ryan, but never like that day. He said nothing, just listened. I met people who gave me a coat, a blanket, a sandwich, but I never let anyone in, not really. And now, he asked. She looked up. Now I'm tired. I don't know how to keep running anymore. He nodded. You don't have to, he said. He reached into his coat again and slid a card across the table. My address, I've got a guest room, hot shower, clean sheets, stay, no expectations, no pressure. She stared at the card like it was a foreign language. I can't. You can. I don't deserve that. None of us do, he said, but sometimes grace finds us anyway. Her eyes welled. Why now, she whispered. He shrugged. Maybe God made me turn that corner today for a reason. Melissa moved in that night. The first few days were quiet. She barely spoke, spent most of her time wrapped in a blanket, sleeping or staring out the window. But slowly, healing began. Ryan helped her find a counselor. He took her to the DMV for a new ID. They filled out paperwork together, laughed once or twice over cereal. Some nights she cried in the dark and he left tea outside her door. Other nights they talked until sunrise, about movies, books, and who they used to be. One night she came out onto the porch while he sat under the stars. She wrapped the blanket tighter and sat beside him. Do you really still love me? She asked, voice thin. He looked up at the sky. I never got closure, he said. Maybe because my heart didn't want it. She turned toward him. I don't know if I deserve this. He smiled softly. Then let's not call it a second chance. She frowned. Then what do we call it? He met her eyes. Let's just call it grace. They didn't kiss that night. They didn't need to. Because sometimes healing is not loud. It's quiet, slow, a whisper between two tired hearts. And in that stillness, on a porch lit by stars and second chances, two broken people found peace. Together. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Kindness Echoes for more emotional, true-to-life journeys about loss, forgiveness, and love reborn. Because somewhere out there, another soul might be waiting to heal, just like Melissa.